What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Sports Junkies Podcast. Before we get into the video, make sure you guys are commenting, and subscribing. About 95% of you guys watching the videos aren't subscribed. So I'm telling you guys, you don't lose anything from subscribing, but you do gain something. You gain some sports knowledge with the Sports Junkies, and you guys get introduced into a great team we have here at Sports Junkies. We got some interviews coming soon, so make sure you guys are staying tuned to see some of that. And make sure you guys are keeping up with the schedule we have. It's going to be basketball on Mondays. We got the NFL on Wednesdays, and then, of course, NCAA football on Fridays. And we tend to post each video at 10:15 in the morning, and then we'll typically post a clip around 6 p.m. and then we'll post another clip the next day. Today's going to be a pretty... We'll see. We'll experiment with today's episode because, guys, I've been scrambling for these topics. It's not getting easier to find topics, especially for the NCAA. There's not much going on right now. No coaches are being fired. Todd Grantham is still the defensive coordinator at Florida for some reason. And Alabama's still getting 5-star recruits, which is one of the things we're going to talk about today. And LSU is trending downwards faster than we've ever seen. We'll talk about that, and then let's talk about the future for Texas A&M because things are heating up in Texas, and I'm liking it. I like it. I feel like we need way more teams to be good at football when it comes to the NCAA, because I'm tired of seeing the same 4, 5, 6 teams, fighting for a playoff spot every year, man. I want to see more teams good at football, and I think Steve Sarkisian being hired at Texas is like the great jump that's going to make Texas maybe better at football team. We need that. We need that rivalry. We need that urgency back when it comes to football. So without further, let's just hop into the episode. All right, let's talk first. We're going to talk about Bama. Bama just got to commit. Emmanuel Henderson has just committed to Bama. Guys, remember a couple years ago when Tua left Bama and we were like, bro, that's it. The dynasty's about to end. It's got to end soon. You know what I'm saying? We just saw the Patriots have a down year. Everybody's like, the dynasty's over. You know what I'm saying? No matter how great a coach is, you always feel like, eventually his reign's going to end. He's going to get played out, outplayed into retirement eventually. With Nick Saban, that is impossible. That is impossible because he just reloads. He doesn't rebuild, he reloads. And when I say he reloads like a freaking minigun, you know what I'm saying, with like 300 bullets because it shoots forever. My problem is he just got the highest rating recruiting class ever. I think he had 8 5-stars. 8 5-stars in that last Bama class. And then people think the dynasty is anywhere close to ending. No, no, that's what Nick Saban said. This team is too good, man. And me being a Georgia fan, watching them get the highest rated recruiting class ever right after winning a national championship makes me sick to my stomach. Bama could literally win about 3 championships in a row. I don't see a team that's really getting close to Bama's talent. I don't see a team creeping up on Bama. Everybody's talking about Ohio State. Clemson, I don't know. Clemson's losing Trevor Lawerence. I think Clemson will rebuild as well, but I don't think Clemson's going to be as great. You know what I'm saying? Going from Deshaun Watson to, Trevor Lawerence, and then now you got, Kelly Bryant, who was a quarterback for a bit. Then going to Trevor Lawerence. But now they got DJ, and DJ's a great quarterback. We saw a hint of him when they played Notre Dame. They lost that game, but it definitely wasn't DJ's fault. So I feel like Clemson has reloaded. I feel like Clemson will still be a great team. Not to mention, I think they're returning a lot of players on the defense, except that cornerback they had who left the team for some reason. Please come to Georgia. We have no veteran presence at DB, and we need it desperately. But let's talk about Bama. They just got a 5-star running back for this year. This is this year's class. We're not even talking about last year's class, which I'm gonna say one more time was the highest rated class of all time, fresh off of a national championship where they completely dominated potentially the quote unquote second best team in the nation. It's just not even. It's too easy for Bama. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of these recruits are realizing, like, look, man, you will not spend 4 years at Bama and not win a title. That's impossible. That won't happen. Bama will not go 4 years without winning a title. That will not happen as long as Nick Saban is the head coach and as long as they keep recruiting at a high level that they're recruiting at now. That will never happen. They just pulled in Emmanuel Henderson, and when I watch this film, he looks like a speed guy. He's got not really speed because he's kind of on the slower end. I'm sure his speed will improve though, especially while he's at Bama. He looks like more like a slower back right now. He runs a little high. He does have great ball carrier vision, but it seems like he struggles a bit when we talk about finding gaps. I was watching some of his film, he definitely has a lot of room to improve, and let's consider he's only a junior, so he's got a senior season that we can look forward to. You know, who knows, he may hit the weight room and get, you know, crazy. He can break some tackles. He looks like he has some escape tackle ability on him. He definitely looks like he could turn into some type of joystick, but we really need to, I would like to see him add some more speed. I'm not sure how much of a receiving back he is. I've seen him catch a lot of toss sweeps. But obviously that's not really receiving. That's just, you know what I'm saying? That's a simple little, that's like a little game of catch. But yeah, this guy looks like a guy who can turn into a great running back. And the thing about Alabama running backs is they don't typically get 4 years of, you know, of play like teams like Georgia. You know what I'm saying? A team like Georgia, you'll come in as a freshman, you'll rush for 400 or 500 yards as a freshman, not even being the starter. You'll be the fourth string. You know what I'm saying? It reminds me like when DeAndre Swift was a true freshman and he rushed for like 600 yards on that 2017 team, you know, when Georgia, you know, lost in the national championship on 2nd and 26 because some random quarterback named Tua Tagovailoa, who I just made a video about on the channel, what was it, yesterday or a couple of days ago for the NFL, talking about how he's needing to gain his confidence back. And with the Dolphins signing Jacoby Brissett, I feel like they were planning to do that, but it could snatch it away. But let's get back on topic. Yeah, it's crazy because, you know, you could, if you're a running back, you commit to Bama. The thing is like, I'm not trying to crash that system that Bama's built by not having running back start 4 years. I'm saying that Bama's so good that a running back will start one season and literally get drafted in the first round at Bama. Najee Harris was the number 1 running back coming out of his class, if I remember correctly. And he probably stepped on the field. I'm sure he stepped on the field, but he didn't start, I believe, until either, was it last year or this year? And he's now probably going to be the top running back selected in the class. I'm pretty sure if this team knows what they're doing, I'm pretty sure he'll be drafted 18 to the Dolphins. And he'll go team up with Tua again. Oh my God. Yeah. Jesus. And and that'll be interesting. And then maybe, who knows, they might put LSU and Alabama together and they might select Jamar Chase at with that 3rd overall pick. I don't know. They need to get Tua some help though, whether it's on the O-line or a wide receiver. And you know, Penny Sewell or Jamar Chase or Devonta Smith. They could, listen, the Dolphins could put the whole Bama team together. Like, I'm thinking about that now. They could get Devonta Smith or Jalen Waddle. And it's crazy because I feel like Jalen Waddle didn't really play this year, and I feel like a lot of people forgot just how good Jalen Waddle is at football. Like, I feel like people, like everyone's saying, well, Devonta Smith, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, Devonta Smith may be, I'm talking about the most unguardable wide receiver, you know what I'm saying? Maybe. And I'm going to say maybe because Jalen Waddle's unguardable. Well, maybe it's not the fact that Jalen Waddle's unguardable. Maybe it's the fact that he's so dominant and he's so fast and he's so quick that no one can really stay with him. There hasn't been a wide receiver or a cornerback quick enough to stay with Jalen Waddle, and that just allows him to get open. Devonta Smith gets open with his route running. He just creates a couple yards of separation, and then he gets an open field. It's almost too easy for him, I feel like, honestly. He can just, the stuff he does, man, it's also hard to bring him down. But I feel like Jalen Waddle's, you know, more quick. You can be more versatile with Jalen Waddle because he can play outside if you need him to. He can also play slot. And you know, he's kind of like, reminds me of like a Tyreek Hill type build, like what he can do with the football. Like it's special what Jalen Waddle can do. But Dolphins have an interesting 3rd overall pick. And if I'm the Dolphins, I really want to go wide receiver, even though I think they just signed someone. I'd have to look into that, but I think the Dolphins just signed a wide receiver. So it's going to be interesting, man. I want to see what the Dolphins are building down in Miami, South Beach. It's going to be real interesting to see what they do. But we get back on this topic with Emmanuel Henderson. Yeah, man, 5-star running back. He's, I think, the number 1 running back in the nation. 247 has him at number 2. They got him as the number 2 player in the state. They also got Ty Simpson, a 5-star quarterback who's probably going to be a 1-year starter. That's another thing. Like, Bama turned Mac Jones was a 1-year starter. You know, he got play time last year, but he was a 1-year starter, and Bama pretty much turned him into one of the top premier quarterbacks in the nation. And the thing about Bama quarterbacks is you need one skill. to succeed at Bama. And you need to have an accurate deep ball. If you have an accurate deep ball, you can win a championship at Bama. It's that easy because Bama's wide receivers are simply too good. Bama recruits wide receivers better than any college in the world right now. Bama right now is wide receiver U. You cannot tell me they're not. They are. They're wide receiver U. I'm not going to call them running back U because I'm not going to betray my school. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to betray my team, you know what I'm saying, the UGA Bulldogs. But Bama is by far wide receiver U when we're talking about right now. I'm not going to say all time, although they are all time. Bama is wide receiver U. They might also slowly become O-line U because they have O-linemen that show out in the draft and then get to the NFL and show out. And it seems like they're about to become quarterback U, man. The crazy thing about it is Bama just bounces from quarterback to quarterback to quarterback to quarterback. It's like people always say like, yo, when this quarterback leaves, that dynasty's over. Boom, we got a new quarterback. He's throwing 300 yards, 400 yards a game, 5 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns, no picks. And the thing is like, that's the problem with Mac Jones. A lot of people are nervous about his ability because I'm like, when you're a quarterback and your top wide receiver is Devonta Smith, a Heisman winner wide receiver, and you got Jalen Waddle as well, you got John Mechie III, you got Najee Harris who's opening up the RPO. You got to start to wonder like, how good are these quarterbacks? Or are these quarterbacks actually good? Or are they being carried by the talent around them? Because Alabama just has stacked talent. And I see why Ty Simpson from Tennessee committed to Bama. I don't think Tennessee was able to pay him. I think that whole thing was over. It's good. I can see why he committed to Bama because Bama's so great at having that talent around him. He's going to have him a tight end that can get open. He's going to have him 3 wide receivers that can get open. He's going to have that one speed guy on that outside who's going to get open downfield. As long as he has a great deep ball, he will succeed at Bama. It's almost too easy for Bama because they're adding just too much talent coming to Bama. And I'm not going to say too much because if I'm a Bama fan, there's nothing wrong with there being so much talent. This team can be beat eventually. There's got to be a team that can beat this team, or maybe not. I mean, I'm just talking out my neck, but I think Bama's got to have a new quarterback. Who was it? Bryce Young, 5-star. You know what I'm saying? I know he got some play time this season. I don't know how well he played. I don't remember watching any of that film, but I know he's a great quarterback, and I know he's gonna shine at Bama. He's still got some talent. Bama's losing a lot of talent when you speak offense, but like I said, guys, Bama does not rebuild, they reload. And I know Bryce Young's going to work some magic. John Mechie III, I feel like, is now the story for that Bama offense. They're losing some defensive pieces, but Bama's defense has slowly declined over the years. I feel like every SEC team has moved more towards an offense, and even Nick Saban said it himself. Defense doesn't win championships anymore, and I've been saying that for years. And I feel like that's one of the problems my team has, UGA, is we rely too much on defense. And I'm like, look, no matter how good your defense is, when you have an offense, when you're facing an offense like we just saw LSU have in 2019, or what we just saw Bama have in 2020, you are, or even Clemson in 2018, you aren't going to beat these teams. I don't care how good your defense is, they will burn you. Your defense is going to get tired. And even with that little, the substitution thing that Georgia runs, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. For a full game, 4 quarters, it's not going to work because eventually they're going to figure it out. And when your offense isn't good enough to put points back on the board, you're going to get smoked every time. That's why Bama always beats Georgia in the second half. That's why Georgia competes so well in the first quarter against Bama. The thing is Georgia's never had the offense to push them further, push them, as far as we need to be. Georgia has yet to put that together, but maybe now is the time for Georgia. But now I feel like Georgia's defense is slowly getting away. So it's going to be, this next season is going to be real interesting when I talk about the SEC. I think Georgia and Bama will see each other.